Okay, I'm here to give you my review of SpongeBob SquarePants again. I usually only do this once a week, well maybe not even once a week, once every 2 weeks, but I'm going to do it this today because I have nothing to talk about on the Wrestling Fortune 44 site, one, and two, I feel like I'm not getting enough of these out, so I think I should get more of these out. So let's talk about this. Um, this episode is called Sandy's Rocket. This episode was made on September 4th, 1999. This was a great episode. They actually had a book I made about this episode. I don't know if I still have it, but it's probably in that bookcase. It's probably in here somewhere. See that? Like, it's probably in here, buried in there. I wonder if I could find that if I could try. But yeah, this episode was great. I honestly did like this episode because it was a good episode. You know, they had some comedy here and there, and they actually had a story to this. Like, the whole thing seems pretty pointless, but if you look at it this way, it was funny. And in SpongeBob, all you really want is funny, because sometimes it isn't funny, but sometimes it's good if it's not funny too. But this case, I actually liked it because it's good entertainment. It really entertained me on this one. So it starts out with SpongeBob coming to talk to Sandy about something. I wonder if he was just happy that Sandy was there, just to be there. But then he rings the doorbell, and this rocket comes up, and SpongeBob looks at it in amaze, and SpongeBob doesn't know what it is, so Sandy says it's a rocket ship, duh. So then she's gonna take him around and show him around. Then he says, "What he doesn't know why he has it. She's gonna use this to go to the moon, and SpongeBob wants to go." What you get? It's right here.
You don't need this, do you?
No. Okay, I just lost my chair. So I'll just do it. Like, I'm gonna have to do it this way for now. So what was I? Oh yeah. So then SpongeBob wants to go, but Sandy says no. After what? Well, for two reasons. One, after what she did to her whirlybird, and I have no idea what that is, but we see a bunch of gravestones out there, so it must be something that's alive. I have no idea what that is. And the second reason, there's just not enough room for him. But then he points out that he doesn't take up that much space, where he like shrinks himself down, and then he goes into a drawer, but Sandy needs that drawer, so he can't go in there. Then he starts having fun going to like chemicals, the beakers. But then Sandy points out that this isn't for fun. She's going for science. Then he says, "Put me in the brig. I don't mind." He goes into the like a little cage thing, but it's the air vent. So and Sandy needs that as well. So the SpongeBob begs and begs that if he can go. Um, then she agrees. He finally wears her down and lets him come. So then SpongeBob's happy and he's running around. He's on the walking, and he comes on like the camera. You can see his feet. Then Sandy grabs him and says, "Not to mess it up or something. Be on your best behavior." So then we see Sandy with a puff gun, and SpongeBob's like, "Is that for hunting aliens?" Then Sandy's like, "No, this is." Sandy says that it's not for aliens. It's for harvesting rooflocks. She shoots it like flowers, I guess, to test it. Then SpongeBob says, "When you're done playing with rocks, you can use that for real alien hunting." Then Sandy says that she's been to the moon. There's no aliens. Then SpongeBob's like, "How do you explain?" Like, he pretty much explains all the theories that probably make it not true. So then Sandy, one of them was those big circles that pop up in gardens overnight, and then he makes a circle walking around. He's like, there's one now. So then he's like, so then Sandy kind of tells him to cut it out, and says to be there, and tells him to be there at the crack of dawn and leave his alien stuff behind. So Sandy gets down to business when she wants to go places. Then SpongeBob's trying to sleep, but I guess he's waiting for this trip, so he can't wait. The clock is ticking, and I noticed that usually the clock and the what's it called? I forget what it's called. Barricade. No, not barricade. The barrel, I think I'm gonna call it. Is on the left side, but I'm assuming, okay, maybe he moved it, and he moved it back one day. But also, the diving board's usually on the left side as well. And how do you move that? Because he can't even lift, he can barely lift a weight with teddy bears on it, but he can move that. Unless he has friends help him, then that makes sense. But I just thought it was worth mentioning. Then, SpongeBob's waiting, the clock's ticking real loud, so then he puts clothespins on his eyes so he can keep his eyes closed. But then Patrick pops up, and SpongeBob's not happy because he's trying to sleep and he just pops up. Then Patrick tells him that he knows he's going on that moon trip and he wanted to bring SpongeBob something, and it's not exactly a present. And he asks SpongeBob if his Sandy's rocket's alien proof. SpongeBob's like, there are no rockets, Patrick. Just ask Sandy. Then he says, well, I was just going to give you this alien repellent for your trip. The alien repellent. So then he grabs it and says, real alien repellent. It does not affect burglars. It says it doesn't keep away burglars. Then, he goes to, they're going to go spray the windows. I have a feeling that Patrick, because you're going to find out later, Patrick's amazed how big it is. So Patrick wonders how he gets his size. But like, we just spray then he just there's like a switch that says open on it, and he just presses it and says windows, and it like crushes SpongeBob, and he goes like right through it. So I have a feeling Patrick set him up so he can just go and walk and have some fun. So then they get inside. Patrick starts playing with some sort of monitor, and SpongeBob points out this is Sandy's big rocket, not some sort of house. But then he sees him like fun house, and then he sees himself in like a mirror getting big. So then he asks Patrick what game that was. He says he doesn't know. I don't know either. Then he like lifts like pushes a lever to see what it does, and it makes the chairs go up and they go out. And Patrick says that he loves rockets when he comes out there. Then he wants to do more. Someone's like, no more. But then he presses the button and they like start shaking. And then when he's done, he's like, okay, one more. And then he does it again. Then SpongeBob's like, okay, we gotta go. And then he's like, Patrick says, oh wait, I bet this one starts it. Then SpongeBob's like, no, that's not the button. I'm the space traveler. I happen to know. And there's like this green one that's flashing. And he says that's right here, and he presses it by accident. And then the rocket ship lifts off, and Sandy notices when like the smoke comes in through a window, which I don't understand how it can, because she has like a glass dome over her, and that just makes no sense. Then Sandy says SpongeBob. Then the rocket starts flying, and they've stopped falling because of the lack of gravity. So then Patrick's like, somebody get me down or up or something. So then SpongeBob starts laughing. They do some tests with like toothpaste and peanut butter. Patrick puts the toothpaste through his peanut butter, and they lift weights. SpongeBob can lift like a big giant weight with his finger. Then eventually they go back to Bikini Bottom, and when the weight falls on SpongeBob, Patrick says, "Hey, who turned the heavy back on?" So then what happens is Sandy goes on the moon to find SpongeBob, and the moon doesn't even look that big. It probably looks as big as maybe an orange or a cantaloupe. So I guess it was like the way the camera did it though. So then when SpongeBob and Patrick come out, they're in, of course, air helmets. Well, really water helmets. And all that good stuff. Then Patrick points out that it looks a lot like home. So then he sees Gary and he says, "Come here, Gary." He tries to call Gary over, but SpongeBob tells him that it's just a trick. They want us to think that the aliens want us to think that we're really home, but we're not. So then Patrick gets confused, and then SpongeBob's like, "But I'm not gonna fall for this." So then he shoots Gary with the air gun, and Patrick cheers and says, "Won't Sandy be proud?" And he's like, "Oh, Sandy, I forgot all about her. She's gonna hate us for taking her rocket." But he points out that she'll feel silly when he brings home a real life alien. Then he throws it in the rocket. Then Patrick screams, alien hunting," and SpongeBob says we can't let them know what that we're on to them. So then he pretends that it was like a TV show. Well, no, a movie. Then he tries to pretend that he doesn't know it and says, "Let's swap in our old pal Squidward and see what he's up to." So then they go in his house, and Patrick says he's disgusting. He says that Squidward as an alien is disgusting. Then they pull his covers down, and then Patrick sees what is it called again? I believe it's called like a hot bag or something. It's like a bag. It's like a thing where you put water in, but it's not a bottle. A patch, maybe. I'm gonna see what. Well, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. What's 1 second? Oh, it doesn't say on the then. But yeah, I forget what it's called, but I think it's like a hot sack or something. It's like a thing you sleep and you put hot water in. You can put it like below your back, but they think it's an egg sack. So then they are gonna look at like how many are in there, and it's SpongeBob's hands are holding it, so they think it's actually them. It's twins. Um, then Patrick said, then Squidward moves and his tentacle goes on Patrick's helmet, and he's mad about that, so SpongeBob takes it off him. Then his legs go on SpongeBob, and then they take that off. Squidward wakes up. Then wonders what's going on. So then they eventually try to shoot at Squidward, and eventually they capture him. Mr. Krabs is out there with his worm. I don't know his name. It never said his name, but I'm assuming that's his pet though. Then SpongeBob says that Mr. Krabs says, aren't you guys up a little bit late to be playing pirate? So then they go to shoot at him. Mr. Krabs is like, "Wait, please don't shoot." But then he says, "Okay, shoot me, but don't take my money." Then Mr. SpongeBob says, "We don't want your money, Moon Man." So then they shoot at him. They put him in the thing, and he says, and SpongeBob says, "Look at them squirming around in there." And he says, "Boo!" And I think Patrick said crows, but I'm not exactly sure what he said. So then they go to Mrs. Puff's, and she's I guess collecting papers. Then she asks SpongeBob what he's doing there so late, but then they just shoot at her, and she puffs up and says, "Whatever this is going on your permanent record." Then Patrick no no. Oh, and then eventually they all shoot at members of like extras and stuff, members of the Bikini Bottom. Eventually they catch them all, and Patrick says that they need to make a second trip. SpongeBob says there's no time for that. Then Sandy comes down and is upset that they turned a science experiment into a disaster. But then as she's talking, they just shoot Sandy, and they say nice, and then nice try, and then they say nice try, Sandy. Then Patrick says, or should I say, Miss Alien Pants? And then Sandy's like, "Wait, aliens? Is that what this is about?" Then she tries to tell him that they're still in Bikini Bottom, but they don't listen. Then SpongeBob says that just also that you can't trust anyone. Then SpongeBob and Patrick both puff up their guns. Then SpongeBob says, "You were an alien all the time, and you didn't even tell me." Then Patrick's like, "I didn't even know." Then SpongeBob says that he's got him now, but then Patrick says, "Oh, it's not you that's got me. And he points the gun the wrong way, and Patrick shoots himself with it. And he says, "It's me that's got me." Then SpongeBob leaves the moon, and then when he gets back, and he says, "Wait, Bikini Bottom looks different." Then he realizes that he's on the moon. Everyone that he's captured says, "SpongeBob, we aliens would like to speak with you, would like a word with you." Then the episode ends, so you never really find out what happens after that. I think in the book you do, but not in the movie. I think in the book they all forgive him or something, I forget. But, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not going to be back on this making videos on any channel. Maybe Adam will, but you never know. He might not. So I'd like you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Like the videos, favorite the videos, comment on the videos. Add me as a friend on Facebook so I can invite you to like Owen the Talkinator on Facebook. And follow me on Twitter. Then you can subscribe to Wrestling Fortune 44. Like the videos, favorite the videos, comment on the videos, like the page when you are my friend on Facebook. Then you can subscribe to CM Brothers, like the videos, comment on the videos, favorite the videos, and add Adam as a friend on Facebook so me and or him can invite you to like CM Brothers. That's pretty much it, guys.